Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
We begin this hour with a Fox 61 follow-up on an exclusive. Emergency exit doors were found screwed shut at the Brass Mill Center in Waterbury. Fox 61 notified the fire marshal's office, which led to an investigation. Good evening. Thanks for staying with us here on the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Sarah Sanchez. Well, tonight we're back in the city with an exclusive interview. Fox 61's Joe Monte's in Waterbury with response from the city's mayor.
In a Fox 61 exclusive, we gave you a look at emergency exit doors in the Brass Mill Center in Waterbury that were screwed shut as a woman tried to get out while the emergency alarm was going off. Now, in a new interview, the mayor and the fire chief share with me what they're doing to fix the problem.
It's very concerning to find out. Fortunately, we didn't find out in the middle of an event or an emergency, and we're going to be working with the mall and the mall management, the theater management, to make sure things like this don't happen again.
Waterbury Fire Chief Javier Lopez says after being made aware of the situation by Fox 61, the assistant fire marshal was sent to the mall to inspect the exit.
What he found was a dimly lit passageway that led to a locked emergency door.
Chief Lopez says they also found small amounts of garbage lying around that could be unsafe during an emergency. Waterbury Mayor Paul Pernaruski said the fire department and mall staff took immediate steps to make the exit more safe and functional.
They got right on it. They had it fixed by yesterday as far as getting the doors open. They're working, right now on getting the lighting upgraded. So I think the response has been something that we're happy with at this point.
The mayor says the fire marshal also requested the mall add more lights and replace blown bulbs in the pathway to the exit. Chief Lopez says the city doesn't always see social media posts and urges people to contact them directly about issues like this. With the emergency exit back open, the mayor and the fire chief say they want people to feel safe at the Brass Mill Center.
So I would tell people the mall remains safe. There's no issues around it, and they should feel comfortable going in there.
If somebody finds a situation like that, they should contact the fire department immediately, and we will immediately respond and rectify the situation.
The fire chief says they don't know why or for how long the exits were sealed off. He says that's no longer the case. The exit doors are now functioning again. He also says the issue seemed to be isolated to that specific exit in the Apple Cinemas. At the Waterbury City Hall, Joe Monte, Fox 61.
The damage became more and more obvious as the days went on.
15 years ago, the city of Bridgeport watched as a tornado tore through downtown. We were there for the recovery process, but that process has been slow going for some organizations. Fox 61's Victoria Anderson shows us who is slowly putting the pieces back together.
15 years ago this week, an EF1 tornado tore through downtown Bridgeport, kickstarting a journey of recovery that has turned into total restoration for the city's Barnum Museum.
And there was just glass and chunks of trees and leaves all over some of the most important objects in the museum's collection. Ran to the emergency plan and opened it up, but the first line was when you get the warning. And there was no warning.
No warning and no easy way out for the Bridgetown Barnum Museum. A testament to the town's former mayor and famous circus man, still standing empty 15 years after that tornado changed everything.
So the last 15 years has definitely been an emotional roller coaster.
The first step was saving the thousands of artifacts now covered in debris and rain. But that wasn't all.
We learned through the structural engineers that the building could potentially fail. We were given a condemn warning.
And what Executive Director Kathleen Maher thought was just a bump in the road.
Hurricane Irene in 2011. The following year, it was Superstorm Sandy. And then when COVID hit, there was a major boiler explosion. Losing the National Endowment for the Arts and Humanities, losing the Institute of Museum and Library Services, losing the National Park Services funding.
Turned out to be a much longer road to recovery. But now, with the building stabilized and the outside complete, the museum is looking inward at both the building and their pocketbooks.
If somebody gave us $25 million right now, today, I can tell you we'll be open in 2 years.
But while they wait for the funds, a modern telling of Barnum's story is being designed with the hopes of telling his story to a new generation. A larger-than-life project for a larger-than-life legacy.
And the museum still does have some programs running. So for more information on that and how to donate, you can check it out at the Fox 61 website or the Fox 61 News app. Reporting at the top of the Barnum Museum, Victoria Anderson, Fox 61.
The first time in days we got a break from the heat and humidity. It did feel nice. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank is here with the first check of the forecast. Rachel, it was just kind of nice to give the air conditioner a break.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a couple weeks ago everyone would go, oh, today is not so great. But after the heat wave, it's been nice to push the reset button. Look at the 24-hour temperature change. It is 33 degrees colder than it was at this time yesterday for Hartford, Windsor Locks. Similar in Chester, 28 degrees cooler for Waterbury. But we are seeing a lot of clouds, and you can even see a few raindrops here on the camera lens right now in Hartford too. Here's a look at the numbers across the rest of the state. It is the warmest along the shoreline where those showers have not moved in yet. But if you notice and you look at some of those showers, they are right along I-84. They are moving south, so parts of the shoreline may see a few of these hold together as we head through this evening. A few of those light showers in Tolland and Storrs and Coventry right now. But we're missing out on the storms and the heavier downpours to the south and west. Overnight lows will be near 60 degrees as we head towards daybreak, and tomorrow we'll see clouds break for some sun in the afternoon, but we remain cooler than average. Some changes this weekend. The humidity's back and the heat follows suit. Your full forecast coming up.
Thank you, Rachel. In the Raul Valley murder trial, today we heard from a man who claims he's the one who supplied the knife. Prosecutors say Valley used that knife to stab 4 people at a house party, including 17-year-old Jimmy McGrath, who died. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules brings us the new testimony from Milford.
Today, the jury heard testimony from the man who says he gave the knife to Raul Valley. He says Valley asked for the knife before going back to the Shelton house party to fight.
And he was like all distraught and said something along the lines of like, I think I just stabbed like 4 people or something like that.
Jack Snyder says he was the driver of the car the night Valley is accused of stabbing 4 people at a Shelton house party. Snyder, in exchange for immunity regarding any crimes he committed the night of the party, testified for the prosecution. Snyder admitted to fighting with Shelton High School student Ryan Hines at a party earlier in the night after Snyder took his 12-pack of beer. After the first fight, Snyder and others were added to a group chat where Shelton High and St. Joseph students argued back and forth. Later on, the address to another party on Laurel Glen Drive was sent in the group chat. When they arrived outside, he says Shelton students surrounded the car.
Are people in your car at this point saying anything?
Yes.
And did that indicate to you that they were scared?
Yeah, I think we all were.
He says he took out his pocket knife for protection.
I didn't expect so many people there, and after seeing what they were doing in my car and how they were talking, I just felt like it was in regard to my own safety. I just took it out and put it down just in case anything were to happen.
When he was able to drive away from the home, Snyder drove Valley and another friend, Tyler De Silva, a few houses down from the party. That's when he and others realized his car now had a shattered windshield, among other damage done to the car.
He came back around and asked for the knife.
And when you say the knife, what do you mean?
I carried a pocket knife in the bottom of my center console.
After he says he gave Valley the knife, he, De Silva, and Valley got back in the car and drove back to the party. He says De Silva and Valley walked up to a crowd of people on the lawn while he stood in the car. He says Valley and De Silva were talking with the Shelton students until things escalated.
One came out from the crowd and punched Lito in the face.
Snyder says Valley came back to the car once but quickly went back into the fight. When Valley and De Silva returned to the car for the final time, he described them as bruised and injured. After leaving the party, Snyder drove down the street where he says Valley threw the knife into the woods. Cross-examined by the defense, Snyder says at least 30 Shelton High students swarmed over to Valley and De Silva when they got out of the car.
You could see stomping going on, could you not?
Yeah.
You were scared for your friends at that point, were you not?
I was.
Terrified about what was happening to them, right?
The defense also questioned Snyder about Valley's demeanor after the stabbing.
He was just in shock.
The Shelton Police Department say they were never able to recover the knife. In Milford, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
We have new developments out of Manchester tonight. A 16-year-old's been charged with murder in connection to a man's death last month. Police tell us the Manchester teen was arrested in Alabama, and he's now back in Connecticut. 24-year-old Jordan Patterson of Windsor Locks was found dead in a car on May 20th. Officials say he was shot once in the stomach. Right now, Waterbury police are investigating what they are calling an untimely death. Officials say they were called to a home on Proctor Street at 7 this morning. We're told they found a man dead inside. Investigators are working to learn who he is and how he died. Police say there are no apparent suspicious circumstances. Well, everyone's okay after a chemical barrel exploded and started a fire inside a manufacturing building this morning in Bloomfield. Firefighters say this happened around 5:45 at the ITW Shine Mark facility on Newberry Road. Workers quickly evacuated the building, and DEEP says extreme heat and humidity likely caused those chemicals to catch fire. The building sprinklers put the fire out, and now officials are just cleaning up the damages. Firefighters in New London say the misuse of extension cords caused a house fire this morning. This one happened around 5 on West Street. One person was taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation. 3 others got out safely. We're told the house has smoke damage, and the Red Cross is helping the family get back on their feet. So the fire department is reminding everyone to be safe when using extension cords. Don't overload outlets or cords or link multiple ones together. Never run cords under rugs, carpets, or through doorways, and inspect cords regularly for any wear or tear. Meriden police are looking for whoever dumped a dead dog in town. Police say the dog's body was found yesterday morning in a bag near Hicks Avenue. They say the dog was between 2 or 5 years old, medium-sized, and was brown and white, with brown with white on its chest and paws. The dog was also wearing a collar with no tags, and it was not microchipped. Police say it did not have any injuries or signs of abuse, so it might have died accidentally or naturally, and someone was trying to just get rid of the remains. But police stress this is not the way to do it. The dog's remains will be checked out to determine how it died. Police say they'll hold on to the dog in case an owner comes forward, but if no one does, they plan to have the dog cremated.